Alright, so this video is going to show you how to solve by undoing. I know that I'm going to solve by undoing because I don't have the terms, I don't have ax squared plus bx plus c. What I have is I only have one x that I'm seeing in the equation, and I have parentheses with the squared around it. So my only option on this one is to undo. So first thing I have to do, it says find x. So what that tells me is I'm going to have two answers since it's a quadratic, and I know that y is going to be 100. So when I look at my equation, I have to take the 100 and I have to plug it in for y. Now, when I think of undoing, I'm doing PEMDAS, but when I'm undoing it, I'm going backwards. So the first thing I'm looking for, instead of starting at the beginning, I'm looking for subtraction or addition that I'm going to undo to get rid of it. And this is the only one where you don't have to make it equal to 0. So it's fine that the 100 is over here because we're going to start moving things over towards the 100. So I'm going to add 20 on both sides. I end up with 120. And then I have 4 parentheses x plus 3, and I still have the squared. Then, this step is where a lot of people are getting confused. You cannot distribute this 4. You cannot. The reason is because you have a squared out here. So that doesn't mean this is just x plus 3. This is really something else. So you can't distribute this 4. Right now what's happening is multiplication. So next in our PEMDAS is multiplication and division. We need to undo multiplication with division. So 120 divided by 4 is 30. I still have my parentheses x plus 3, and I still have my squared. So really watch out on that step. I know a lot of people want to distribute, but you're just undoing everything. Okay, next thing is I have to get rid of this squared because that's my exponent part. So I have to get rid of an exponent by doing square root on both sides. Now if you want to put this in the calculator, that's fine, but most people have just been leaving it, and that's fine with me. The thing you have to remember on this step is you get two answers when you do square root 30. So you get a positive square root 30, and you also get a negative square root 30. You will have to do both. Then you're going to bring down, once you did the square root, you got rid of the square root, the squared, and the parentheses all can now disappear. So you still have an x plus 3, and on this equation you also have an x plus 3. So this is where our two answers come in. If you forget to do this step, you will not be able to get your two answers. So don't forget that step. Last step is I have to get rid of a plus 3. So I'm going to subtract 3 on both sides. Now these 3's are going to cancel out, so I just have x, which is a good thing. Some people are also trying to subtract these. Now you have to think about it like terms. This has a square root, this doesn't. So they cannot be combined with one another. So what I would do to leave my answer is the order of these two doesn't really matter, but the signs on them do. So you can put the negative 3 first and then a positive square root 30, or you can put the square root 30 first and then a minus 3. Doesn't really matter to me. You could also, some people are also putting this in the calculator and getting a number. Same thing here, we're going to subtract 3 on both sides. Again, I could write it either way, but I have to keep the signs with it. So the square root 30 has a negative, and the 3 also has a negative or a minus sign to get me my second x. So if you left your answers like that for undoing, that would be totally fine. My suggestion would be, if you wanted to try another problem, I would tell you to find x if y equals 25, and the equation you're going to use is 2 parentheses x plus 7 squared plus 5. So if you wanted to try a problem, you could try this and have me check it.